My phone is lying to me. It is straight up giving false information. I do not trust it. You shouldn't trust yours. More on that in a second. So I have to trust my phone to tell me what is going on. Sorry, too much talking. All right, there we go. So like on my phone, when I tap the time,
8:15 a.m.
it tells me the time. When I tap
October 3rd.
the date, it tells me the date. So I trust that it's giving me appropriate information.
8 new items.
But if I go to Instagram, I go to my profile, @RealPeteGustin.
Followers. 1.1 thousand followers.
It says I have 1.1 thousand followers, but I know that's not true. Can you see, Josh? How many followers do I have?
You have 1,117.
Okay, so it's lying.
Followers. 1.1 thousand followers.
1.1 is not correct. So like my phone, if I go to my banking account and I click on my banking balance and it says I have $3.2 million in my checking account, do I trust it? This technology is faulty.
I would trust it if it told me I had 3.2 million. I'd be like, oh, sweet, right on. Yeah, round to what you want there.
Exactly. But I don't trust this damn thing anymore. It's giving me false information.
You gotta trust me.
So much like having to be able to trust my phone, I have to trust the people that I'm around because they're the ones that explain the world to me as I don't see it. Josh is obviously one of the most trustworthy people on the planet for me. I do exactly what he tells me to all the time. And I remember really early on, when you were just surf coaching me before the show, I gave you 2 20s and 100 by accident.
Yeah.
And you gave it back.
I was like, that's not right.
But that was really nice. And I remember my last girlfriend that I had was like not awesome about this whole thing. We used to go out to eat and she'd know I'd like ribs and she's like, oh, they have something called like the radical ribs on the menu. And I'd be like, oh cool, I like ribs. And so the waitress would come around and I'd be like, yeah, I want the radical ribs. And the waitress would be like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you know, the radical ribs. Yeah. And they weren't on the menu. Like, what? Yeah, they were. She just make things up all the time because she thought that was funny. It was kind of annoying.
Yeah, it sounds like it would be very annoying. Then you'd have to scramble for what you want for food.
Exactly. It got a little old, but trusting the people that I'm with is very important. And stick around, more on that in a second. We are obviously without Banana today, who started a new job and has to do some work today, but she was nervous about me going out with just Josh, as if we've never done that before. But she knows I have to totally trust the person I'm with, that Josh isn't gonna say, cross the street now, when a car is coming.
You just make it really easy and just park on the street that you don't really have to walk across now.
That is the safer way to do it. But then also when we're out in the water, I totally have to trust what he's telling me, like when a wave is coming, every once in a while, and I can't tell if you're screwing with me sometimes when you do this. You're like, one's coming, take 2 paddles out, now flip around, now paddle, and then like a wave doesn't come.
Yeah, you know, sometimes waves die, and it's either that or I'm purposely making them paddle in circles just for my entertainment.
Yeah, I'm never exactly sure. Or sometimes when he lines me up, that's actually, when you put me like, go right here, go right there, take 2 paddles, sit there, and then like the wave breaks right on my head. I can never tell if you didn't know the wave was gonna break on my head, or if you did know, and that was funny.
I think Mother Nature has its own
sense of humor.
Maybe.
Crash this wave on the blind guy's head.
It makes its own decisions.
And then, of course, I also need really clear and concise directions. Like last week when you told me to paddle for a wave, and you said, go left, right.
Up now and left, right. Maybe it was a really nice left and right.
I think I went straight.
Or go left right away.
I think that's what you're trying to say, but I do remember hearing it going.
Sometimes I forget a really key word, you know?
Yeah, that would be an important one.
You know, every surfer knows this, but no and go is very similar.
That's
like no. That's go.
That's definitely a constant issue where I'm always like, was that no or go? Because I went. We safely made it down to the beach. Josh did not walk me into any traffic. The tide is ludicrously high today. There's no beach whatsoever. And we got Brooks with us today, so we'll have more awesome drone footage.
Yeah.
At Drone Sesh. And also, quick little minor announcement, because people have been asking so many questions, because my life is so confusing to everybody. Brooks is actually working on a documentary.
Yeah.
Because I'm fascinating?
Yes. I mean, I think you and Josh's relationship is fascinating. Your whole life's fascinating. So I wanted to capture a little bit more detail of how you function day to day. how you guys kind of do this channel together, how you and your girlfriend slash wife kind of get along, and how that all works, and just a little bit more into your life and what's going on in your head,
Yeah, so we'll have a more in-depth me and Josh and Banana stories coming up, but for now we're going to suit up, paddle out, catch some waves. Right, Josh?
Yeah.
So I survived the session. I listened to Josh, he told me where to go and what to do, and now we have to get back to the car. Josh, Banana usually holds my hand when we're getting back to the car.
I don't want to hold it.
I don't want to hold your hand either. So I'll just stay right behind you, and you let me know if anybody's coming. One last thing, I'm in the car alone. Josh is grabbing some food. All this talk about having to trust the people that I'm with and believe what they say all the time. 2 weeks ago, I was with Josh and Danny, and we were looking for Banana, who was in her car, and they couldn't find each other, except watch this clip right here. See that blue Audi right there? That's Banana. They were like 10 feet apart and they couldn't find each other. And these are the people I'm trusting every day.